Chapter 10, 51. Three Supreme True Inheritances. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Be it Dong Hun Mountain, Luopo Valley, or Wisdom Gu, they were priceless treasures, unique in this world, exceptional in their domains. Fang Yuan said they could be traded, but what could Lang Ya, land spirit, use to buy them? Fang Yuan did not reject him. He was waiting in anticipation. Lang Ya blessed land had a deep foundation. It was not simple. It had survived the eras of two venerables and existed up to this day. After Imperial Court blessed land was destroyed, it could be called the #1 blessed land in the 5 regions. When he was alive, the land spirit was known as the #1 refinement path immortal of all times. He faintly surpassed old eccentric Tian Nan and old immortal Kongju. Such a character, how could he not have anything worth trading? Like immortal Gu transactions, each one was unique. Unparalleled items could be exchanged using similarly unparalleled items. The assessment of their value depended on the individual's own circumstances. Dang Hun Mountain, Luopo Valley, and Wisdom Gu. These three were not objects that Fang Yuan would not trade away, as long as the gain was worth it. Lang Ya Land's spirit started to pace around. He frowned, entering deep thought. If it were the previous land spirit, there would be no need for consideration. He would trade with Fang Yuan. But after changing personality, this new Lang Ya land spirit had a different focus. The white-haired land spirit was formed from the obsession about space escape Gu. Thus he is only interested in refining Gu. He nurtured all of the hairy man Gu immortals to be refinement path experts. But this black hair land spirit wants to turn hairy men into the dominant race. I can make good use of this point, Fang Yuan thought. Seeing this land spirit walking around, he patiently waited for his decision. Fang Yuan had a sense of confidence. He believed that Lang Ya land spirit would not disappoint him. As Fang Yuan had expected, after struggling, Lang Ya land spirit made up his mind and decided to trade with Fang Yuan. First Supreme Elder, I am not doubting your ability to trade with me, but it has to suit both of us. If the things you have cannot match my expectations, I am afraid, Fang Yuan purposely said. Lang Ya land spirit stared as he said grumpily, Don't worry, my Lang Ya sex treasures are not inferior to those 3 things. Saying so, he handed Fang Yuan an information path Gu worm. Fang Yuan stretched out his arm, receiving this Gu worm. This Gu was like a silkworm, although it had a head, thorax, and abdomen, 3 distinct parts. Its body looked like a cocoon overall, round and cute. It was white and looked like a vase with a shiny glaze on the surface. Fang Yuan held it in his hand. It was smooth and shiny. It had a good feel to it when handled. This is a bookworm? Fang Yuan was slightly shocked. He had seen bookworms before. They were a type of valuable rank 1 Gu. But what shocked him was this bookworm was emanating rank 3 aura. Lang Yalan's spirit snorted, saying, This is something my previous self made. He broke the limits of the rank 1 bookworm, developing rank 2 and 3 versions of it. But what use do they have? If enemies attack, can the bookworms defend us? What? Even though he said that, Fang Yuan could hear vague smugness hidden in Lang Yalan's spirit's tone. Fang Yuan shook his head. Without speaking, he used a trace of the unlimited primeval essence in his immortal essence to use the bookworm, as well as sending a portion of his consciousness into it. He did not own the bookworm, but he had borrowed it from Lang Ya land spirit. Thus he could use it without obstruction. Fang Yuan's eyes were shining. The information in the bookworm made him extremely excited. His heartbeat rose. As I expected, Fang Yuan praised in his mind. His thoughts were frothing about uncontrollably. Fang Yuan had returned to Lang Ya blessed land and spent a lot of time recuperating. At this time, his immortal aperture's calamity was around the corner. Ying Wu Shi, He Lu Lan, Hu immortal blessed land, fixed immortal travel. All of these things did not matter now. His biggest obstacle was to pass this calamity. Once in a while, calamities and tribulations descend in a Gu immortal's immortal aperture. The deeper the foundation of the immortal aperture, the stronger the calamities and tribulations. Fang Yuan's current immortal aperture had not been managed yet. It was empty, but it had an incredibly huge space and a large time path foundation in it. It was even not limited by the separate natures of the 5 regions. Such an immortal aperture far surpassed the 10 extreme physiques combined. The calamities and tribulations he was going to face would be unprecedentedly dangerous. One could say this was a sharp blade hanging around Fang Yuan's neck. When he was recuperating, Fang Yuan had been training Fang Zheng as well as considering his circumstances. There was only a few days until the calamity. Fang Yuan did not have much confidence. He was uncertain about it. Most of his immortal goo were left in his original body. A number were destroyed, while the others were left with Ying Wuxi. Fang Yuan's strength was much lower now. Tai Bai Yun Sheng and He Lulan were nowhere to be found, while Fairy Li Shan and Blazing Heaven Demoness were dead. The only help he could get was from Langya, Blessed Land. And Langya, Blessed Land must have survived a lot of calamities and tribulations after existing for so many years. It was a successful example that had dealt with many tribulations. There was bound to be much for Fang Yuan to learn from it. How is it? Langya Lan Spirit smiled and said. He raised 3 fingers at Fang Yuan. My Langya sect has 3 major foundations. Firstly, the refinement path, true inheritance left behind by my main body. It has the essence of my entire life's cultivation. Secondly, the luck path, true inheritance left by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Thirdly, the theft path, true inheritance left by Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. When my main body was alive, I had refined goo for these 2 venerables. The payment I requested were one of each of their true inheritances. Feng Yuan gave a slight nod. The bookworm recorded details of these 3 true inheritances. No matter which one, they were deep and profound. Fang Yuan only saw their most superficial information and was already deeply attracted by them. They were extremely valuable. Langya Land Spirit continued, among these 3 true inheritances, the Thieving Heaven true inheritance is the least valuable. That is because my main body created space escape goo, but could not activate it. Thus I returned a portion of the payment. However, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's true inheritances all come in pairs. If you are lucky after getting this true inheritance, and if the other true inheritance is not obtained yet, you might get clues to the second true inheritance. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable left behind a total of 10 true inheritances, but only otherworldly demons can receive most of them. Only the one I have is an exception. Fang Yuan, you are an otherworldly demon. You can easily obtain the other Thieving Heaven true inheritance if it is still available. Fang Yuan gave a slight nod. Hey, he had seen the power of Formless Hand using theft path methods. He could steal the immortal goo of others and gain the greatest benefits after every battle. And some methods that Fang Yuan relied on greatly, unfamiliar face, vaguely familiar face, and familiar face were also Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's immortal killer moves. Fang Yuan had experienced the benefits of stealing. This true inheritance would not disappoint him. After pausing for a while, Langya Land Spirit continued. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had a total of 10 true inheritances, but Giant Sun Immortal Venerable only had 3. When I was alive, I refined the Immortal Goo House 88 True Yang building for him. Thus, this true inheritance's value is higher than Thieving Heaven's. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's 3 true inheritances encompass all of his methods regarding luck path. They are self-luck, all living beings' luck, and heaven and earth luck, among which the self-luck true inheritance is with me. The all living beings' luck true inheritance was inside Imperial Court Blessed Land. As for the heaven and earth luck true inheritance, it is in longevity heaven. Self-luck, all living beings' luck, heaven and earth luck. Connect luck immortal goo, break luck. Immortal goo, divert disaster immortal goo. They were part of the all living beings' luck true inheritance. After Imperial Court Blessed Land was destroyed by Feng Yuan, some of these immortal goo were sent outside. As for the details of cultivation involved in it, they were already lost. Fang Yuan and Ma Hongyun had interacted. He knew about the power of luck path. Ignoring other things, if I had divert disaster immortal goo, I could mimic imperial court blessed land and send my calamities and tribulations outside. Fang Yuan knew that luck path was very useful for his tribulations. Even if this self-luck true inheritance did not have Gu-like divert disaster immortal Gu, the higher Fang Yuan's luck was, the weaker his calamities and tribulations would be, he could deal with them more easily. Fang Yuan, I would suggest you take the self-luck true inheritance, because your luck seems to be really bad, Lang Yalan's spirit said. Just now, how many problems and mishaps occurred when you came back from southern border? Even on my end, I lost 2 hairy man Gu immortals. You can't even imagine the cause. In order to refine fortune rivaling heaven. Immortal Gu, old ancestor Shu Hu ordered the demonic path Gu immortals in Snowy Mountain, blessed land to collect materials for him. This act made the loyalty of his members drop at a crucial moment. A traitor appeared in Snowy Mountain blessed land, stealing one of the most crucial materials. Old ancestor Shui Hu was enraged. He dispatched Gu immortals to capture any suspicious people. The hairy man Gu immortal I sent to receive you was implicated. As for the second Gu immortal, who disappeared mysteriously, I have not even discovered what was the cause of his disappearance. I believe that one day the truth will come out. They will not be sacrificed in vain, Fang Yan urged. Lang Yalan's spirit gritted his teeth. He did not continue this topic. He went back to the previous one. Actually, it seems to me that the true inheritance which suits you the most is the first one. Refinement path has 2 styles. Do you know of them? I have heard of them, Fang Wen said. Lang Yalan's spirit continued. The 2 styles are the hairy man, heaven and earth style, and the human isolation style. Us hairy men refine Gu differently from humans. We can use the Tao marks of heaven and earth to create the most conducive environment to refine Gu and increase the chance of succeeding in the Gu refinement. Feng Yan listened patiently. Lang Yalan's spirit would have his reasons for saying this. Back then, giant sun immortal, venerable and thieving heaven demon venerable, had requested help from my main body. That was because my main body used the hairy men, heaven and earth style, to refine Gu. The success rate of refining Gu was higher than your human isolation style. My main body not only knew the essence of the hairy man heaven and earth style, I even used old immortal Kongju's true inheritance to break past our limits. Reaching a higher level, I conceptualized an immortal killer move called Immortal Tribulation Tempering Aperture. Immortal Tribulation Tempering Aperture. Fang Yuan's eyes shined. He felt deep interest. Lang Yalan's spirit smiled with great pride as he continued explaining. As it turned out, this killer move, Immortal Tribulation Tempering Aperture, was a refinement path killer move that used several immortal Gu and more than 100,000 mortal Gu to form. It had an ingenious concept. It used the blessed land or grotto heaven as the target of refinement, using the killer move to connect the immortal aperture with the outside world of the 5 regions, influencing the calamity or tribulation and using it to temper the immortal aperture itself. The calamities and tribulations of immortal apertures can have all sorts of strangeness. It makes them hard to deal with. But using this killer move, one can restrict the type of calamities and tribulations that happen. Do you know why Lang Ya, blessed land, was placed around Crescent Lake in the past? That was because the area near Crescent Lake has a lot of water path Tao marks and refinement path Tao marks. My previous self always used the killer move, Immortal Tribulation Tempering Aperture, to deal with calamities and tribulations. Most often, water path and refinement path calamities would occur. After passing them, the immortal aperture would gain water path and refinement path Tao marks. 180,000 years ago, Langya blessed land had no seas. But now look at this vast ocean. The huge landmass has been reduced to 3 continents. This is the effect of a huge number of water path Tao marks. Fang Yuan heard of this and thought about spectral soul using the myriad tribulations to refine the sovereign immortal fetus Gu. This killer move, Immortal Tribulation Tempering Aperture, is very similar in concept to Spectral Soul's method. No, Shadow Sect had spies inside Langya Blessed Land. Maybe Spectral Soul's method originated from Immortal Tribulation Tempering Aperture? Fang Yuan guessed correctly. Spectral Soul Demon. Venerable's method was derived from the killer move Immortal Tribulation Tempering Aperture, but his methods were more refined. He used Wisdom Path to deduce the type of tribulations before making additional preparations. It was not like this Immortal Tribulation Tempering Aperture. It could only influence calamities and tribulations. There was a chance of failure. In the calamities and tribulations that Lang Ya Blessed Land went through, there were also Fire Path and Lightning Path tribulations. Not all were Water Path and Refinement Path. All right, you have Luopo Valley, Dong Hun Mountain, and Wisdom Gu. I also have 3 true inheritances. We can do a one-to-one trade. Which one do you want to exchange for? Lang Ya Land Spirit asked. This time it was Fang Yuan's turn to decide. What should he choose?